Greetings. I want to talk about this very recent ruling by the ICJ, the International Court of Justice at The Hague. This recent ruling that found it plausible that the State of Israel had violated the terms of the Geneva Convention in their attack on Palestine. Well, the average 9-year-old can go on the internet for about 2 minutes and find you 4 or 5 examples of the State of Israel violating the Geneva Convention and its attack on Palestine. We've all been watching an insanely cruel parade, an insanely unjust parade of the slaughter of innocent civilians, mothers, children, infants. And we wonder what kind of world that we're living in to have to witness this. And thankfully, the majority of the people on this planet are calling for a ceasefire, have been screaming for a ceasefire for over the last 2 months. And it makes you wonder, though, what happened to all these political figures and these media figures. What happened? We're not hearing them cry out for ceasefire in the same way. And it makes you wonder what happened to the ICJ, because it seemed like that was the only thing to do at this moment is to come out with a demand for immediate ceasefire. Immediate ceasefire of the senseless, massive slaughter of civilians. This can't be allowed in a sane world. So we wonder, why didn't the ICJ demand an immediate ceasefire? And in a sense, that ruling was deeply disappointing, because it didn't do enough to stop this ongoing slaughter of innocent people. And it literally gives the U.S. and Israel a path to do what they're doing, which is a massive war crime. So in a sense, that decision was deeply disappointing. And many celebrate the decision. And I understand why. Because, you see, I never thought that I would grow up in a world that would be more violently racist than the world that my father grew up in. I never thought I would see that. But now, I see it. I see it. And I've been watching it for the last few years, but definitely over the last 3 months. Because at the core, at the very core of this slaughter of civilians going on in Palestine is both an overt and a subliminal racism. And you see, this ICJ ruling is going to begin to allow us together to look under the hood at this overt and subliminal racism. Because you see, there's a huge demographic issue here. There's a huge demographic difference between people who are massively calling for a ceasefire and people who are not, who are being silent about it, or, for that matter, encouraging that the slaughter continue. And when you see that demographic difference, you begin to realize what I've said before, and many of us would say before. And that is that going through this world with a skin that is brown can allow you many times to see this world from a view that seems upside down. And we wonder why people don't see this. And this has to do with subliminal racism. So we begin to be able to look together at this and peel away that skin. Because every institution that we grow up around here in this part of the world, in the United States, has underlying in its policies racist, subliminally racist ideologies. In every educational institution, in every government body, we are dealing with subliminally racist policies and philosophies. So perhaps this ruling of the ICJ can cause many more of us to become so disappointed, so maladjusted to what's going on, that we all scream out, ceasefire. One love.